So what's up, everybody? Today is we'll call it a continuation of a project, or the improvement of a project that I did years ago, that it's time to make very permanent, very set. That way, just goes better. See, if you've been following the channel for any length of time, you'll know this is one of the pastures that I have here on the farm, and it's about 16 acres. And what I did first year I got here was I made a lane down the middle of it. And the way that I did it was just pretty quickly put up a T-post that you can see right there. Went on each side, left it, I think it's 15 feet apart, enough to get down here with the tractor. And then it was all electric, and I could go off of that one electric line and go all the way to the fence lines and create paddocks that way. So you just go hook in, two, and then the cows would eat there the next day, and then I just go move it and set it up. Well, that was great, and it worked out for a while, but the problem here in Texas is the droughts. Back, I think it was 2022, we had that really bad drought. This whole place, no matter how slow I moved them, no matter how fast I moved them, no matter what, I mean, when you have, it was 6 or 8 straight weeks of over 100 degrees and no rain, zero rain, the place turns to powder. It turns like baby powder. And when that happens, I don't care how long of a grounding rod that you have for a portable charger, it's just not gonna be able to shock. It just doesn't ground because you have to have that moisture in the ground and to be able to conduct that electricity. And it's not able to shock. And what was going on is that, I had all the lines up, and the cows would hit them and not feel a thing, or it was just very minor, no matter how strong the charger was. And they just walk through it and they tear everything down, and it just became kind of a nightmare because they're like, hey, we're hot, we want food, we want to go, they get nervous too with the drought. So I have to do something a little bit different out here. Obviously right now, wouldn't have that problem. And shoot, it's so wet out here right now that, if I put a battery in the ground, I'll be zapped. We've gotten it's probably been about 4 inches of rain, 4 or 5 inches of rain. I mean, it's been a lot of rain. You can see this is, it's a muddy mess out here. Not so bad, but it's a muddy mess. But I want to be able to create this to where it's permanent, and then possibly look into doing permanent paddocks with barbed wire going every half acre. So this is 16 acres. So I could get 32 paddocks out of this, minus the pond. But then I have this section over there that kind of makes up for it. So it'll be about 32 paddocks that I could actually go and make permanent and have things be really simple, really easy. Oh, look, there's that looks like a stork. Not a blue crane. I don't know if you guys can see it way out in the pond. We'll go over there later. But to where this would be really easy to move cows, move horses behind, move sheep behind, move everything. Basically what I'm saying is I just want to be able to get the farm to where it's as easy to run as humanly possible. I plan on doing a really deep trench and running water lines through it to where, hey, maybe each paddock already has a water trough in it to where literally all I'm doing is opening a gate, maybe moving a shade structure, and then I'm done. See, I need things to go as quickly as possible, as fast as possible, because I do way too much around here as it is. And if I can make the animal portion of it easy and simple, it opens up my life for a lot of other things that I need to be able to get done. So, the project today is, and then look, see, when the cows got in here, they just kind of tore up the trees that I had. Because eventually, what I'm going to do is, when this is all barbed wired in, okay, this is going to be a slow, long process to do the lane, and then especially the permanent paddocks coming off of it. It's going to be a slow process. But in here, they will not be able to get in here. So on the sides where, like right there is, I'll be able to plant a legitimate orchard and come through here and pick all the fruits and everything that I want once the trees grow up. But see, like, they just come their horns, they'll rub on it. And this is I think this is a peach tree that, you know, I need to come in here and do some work, but it's kind of discouraging when, I'll do that later, when you can't keep the cows out, and when it gets to baby powder, there's no electricity being conducted, so everything just goes wrong. I've started to pull up some of the T-posts on this side. I'm going to start pulling up these here, and because the wire that I'm going to be using, it's the gaucho wire. It's 15.5 gauge. It's not as big as the regular 12 gauge barbed wire, so I can space these out a lot farther in between. Right now there's 25 feet, and then some places I switched out to the fiberglass post, which were great, but when the cows just walk through them, not so great. So we're gonna take all these up, and out on the farm, everything revolves around the weather. See, right now, you can see I shredded all the pasture down to where it's ready to go, basically a clean slate. But everything's based around the weather out here. And if I wanted to like shred today, that'd be stupid. Why? Because look, I even created a couple little ruts over here with the tractor. Imagine putting a big heavy tractor on this ground right now. One, there's a chance in some areas I would probably get stuck. Probably wouldn't get stuck here, but I'd tear up the ground. I'd compact it tremendously. So I knew the rain was coming, so got it all done, shredded it right before the rain. Cool. Then after the rain comes, it means the ground's real soggy, and these T-posts are actually pretty simple to pull up. In the summertime, if you try and pull these up in the summertime, good luck. And I don't know why somebody's honking at me. Hello. Was that me? I don't know. That's the joys of living on the highway. So, you know, base everything around the weather. I can go pull up these T-posts. Now, will I be able to start building the fence today? No. Another thing, hey, these T-posts are going to be a little bit wobbly if I try driving them in, and the fence is going to break, the fence is going to sag. So, hey, take advantage of stuff while you can. So, is this going to be a 4-day project? Boom, 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 boom. Be great too, because I could knock it all out, but have to work around the weather and the conditions of the ground. Now, do I want to do it in the summertime when it's so hard that driving these T-posts in is almost impossible? No, but you know, gotta find the happy medium. And you listen to the weather with what projects you get done for that day. So let's get started, and I'll be doing the farmer's pole dance, if you want to call it. Pull these up. Now, you gonna help me too? See? Easy when it's soggy out. Horrible in the summer. Easy enough. Can I do this one with one hand? I think I can, huh, Annie? Let's see, can I do it with one hand? I can, look at that. I can't believe how soggy it is out here. So I'm gonna go through and pull it up, or shall I say, we're gonna go through and pull up all the T-post and kind of get everything measured out, set up. So while I go and pull up the T-post, because that's boring to watch, gonna go do this and be right back. Got all the T-posts pulled up, a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. That's how much rain that we got. So yeah, that's why it's all soaky out here. Put my partner in crime back away, because sometimes it's easier to do things without her. Just trying to train her so, you know, she gets used to being out on the farm, she gets used to being around me, staying around me, and make sure she doesn't chase cows, because if you don't train your dogs, that's what they do, and that becomes a problem. But this is probably going to end up being the biggest and probably most productive project that I've done on the farm. See, the rule of thumb is you're not supposed to do anything permanent. You're not supposed to leave any fences permanent unless they've been there for 3 years. Well, coming in March, I'll be here for 4 years, and these fences have been up for 3.5, and it worked really well. I like when it does work, when the electric fence really does work. I mean, it makes my life a lot easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and start making this very, very permanent here, and just got to figure out some logistical issues about how I'm gonna do it. See, like one of the problems is I have this fence, or this gate back here, okay, and got to make sure that I can drive through this gate. Also, this is one of the areas that I do bring the tractor up, because a lot of times I like to keep the hay up that way. So I got to make sure that this area here is wide enough, or whatever gate I put in is wide enough for to be able to get through. Second thing, or third thing, really, this right here, cattle chute. Okay. Now it's not if I had to do this all over again, this is not where I'd put this. But this came with the place, and the corrals are so great that doesn't make any kind of sense for me to try and move it. Just kind of work around it, okay? Now the problem that I have here is that, okay, the lane started right here and right next to it, right? And it's gone all the way down that way. Well, see that post right there? That can kind of get in the way when I'm trying to back up a trailer to this, because that's very, very necessary. So I have to extend this out enough, this post here, if I leave this where this is going to be, to where I can back up a trailer to that. Okay? Now there's other logistical issues, like when I built this, I really didn't know what I was doing at the time. I was just kind of had an idea, and it worked. It did really work. But you see how it curves? It curves all the way. You know, it's not a straight lane. Now, do I want a straight lane? I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure some stuff out, because I have this down to like a T. Because of everything that I'm planning on doing here on the farm, one of the things is pasture chickens. Okay, we're running. I'm got to place that order probably today about getting the next year's birds in. Okay, what I'd like to be able to do, because I know my chicken tractors are 8 feet by 8 feet, and the chickens are out on pasture for 35 days, I believe it is. Yeah, so I got to do 35 times 8, and that leaves me with 280 feet. That's how far that they will move in their lifetime. So want to make sure that from the fence over there to this point here is a little greater than 280 feet. If I did it right back when I first did this, it should be 300 feet. It should be 300 feet, because ideally what I want to be able to do is bring, however I end up loading them up, be able to bring them down the lane and literally just put the chickens from literally hopefully be right here into the trailer or the boxes or whatever into the lane. That way we take up the whole area too. And the way that I can do this pretty easily is on a Google map. See that little yellow line? That's from me to the fence line, and it's 297 feet. So close enough. It's better than 280. It's bigger than 280. So that works for me. And then what actually happens is, because this just worked out, is the other side of the line, just check that too. Guess what? 302 feet on that side. So I'm going to kind of go down at different spots and see, okay, how far of a difference is it? Because if it's, see, it curves. If it's a greater than 20-foot difference, which some places it's looking like it might be, I'll be able, I might adjust the lane a little bit, and then, you know, keeping it straighter helps the tension on the wires, and keeps it just, you know, the fence better. But this is all things that I need to think of before I start building this project, which is going to take me a long time to do, and it's something that wouldn't be as easy to pull up and rebuild if I want to do it over again, because, you know, it's the P's. Proper planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance. Okay, so everything that I got to think of as many things as I can to make sure this is a success, because this is not something that I want to do over and over again. I want to do it. I've done it once, learned from my mistakes, learned that it worked, learned that it was a great system, but now only want to do it a second time, and then never have to do it again for the rest of my life, hopefully. Now these trees here, I want to build an orchard though. This is another thing that I had to think of. See, I have a lot of open area here. A lot of open area, don't have very many trees, especially on this side of the property. And in Texas, it gets hot. You want to be able to give your animals shade. So I can do that a couple ways. I can build a shade structure and move that around. That's fine, that works. What would be easier and double as productive is to have trees grow up on, this would be, this is south, that's north, so the sun comes from this way. Trees grow up, and guess what? All this area right here, all along the north side of the lane, is gonna have shade, so all the animals can get their shade. And at the same time, it adds, you know, another food source to the farm. So it works double. And then 3, it adds diversity, which is always a good thing. Actually 4, it brings in more birds. Brings in a lot more birds because you want to be able to eat all the bugs and stuff that could go, all the grasshoppers that are going to be eating the grass. So it just stimulates more, it just stimulates a lot more. So, I mean, I could probably go on and think of 10 other things that it benefits, but hey, it's good. Now another thing that I have to think about is like spots like this, the low spots. And what I'm gonna do about this, because you can see when I drove the tractor through, even when it was relatively firm, you know, it's gonna rut up a little bit. How have I fixed this area in the past? I've dumped a ton of wood chips in there, but they will degrade over time, which is not a bad thing. I put a culvert right here in here to where I can kind of have the water go underneath and just cover it with dirt. That's a possibility, but for now, what I'll probably just do, especially because the tractor's got a front end loader, just dump tons and tons of wood chips on here to where we can build this up to where it's not, you know, ooh, it is kind of deep. It's not good. Look, you can see some of the wood chips that I put here in the past. They're still there, and look, it's good. Oh, that though, that's got to go right now. That is not going to seed. Nope, that's a bad one. You die. Flip you upside down too. Okay, you're dead. I find very few of those thistles around the farm now, which is a great thing. And don't ever grab those with your bare hand. Ask me how I know. It hurts. But look, where the wood chips still are, doing all right. Where they're not so much. And some people might say, hey Ryan, if you put up a bunch of fence, you're gonna have spots where you have brambles grow up. Right? Well, ideally, in my perfect world, because we have wild blackberries out here and they're actually really tasty. And they grow up like crazy. I've mowed some down that are 15 feet, 16 feet tall. Yeah, measured with the tape measure. I was like, how tall is this? This, good thing. One, I can come out here and have a little snack in the morning. Get some blackberries when they're in season. And then secondly, if you think about it, this is the lane's 1,000 feet, almost like it's 1,003 or something like that. So it makes it really easy to do some math with it. So it's 1,000 feet, and the fence is going to be what, 4 feet high? So 1,000 times 4, giving us a growing area for brambles of 4,000 feet. And that's on the other side as well, so that's 8,000 feet. What's going to happen? What likes to eat the brambles a lot better than grass? The llamas do. The llamas like to go through, and that's why all this stuff is, you know, there's not very many leaves on there. And this will die back, and the llamas will come eat it again. But this even right here, if you're a sheep, say I wanted to get sheep, if you're a goat, it's going to be hard to get through there. So if I have a whole fence line that's 4 feet tall of this, I mean, it acts almost like a wall, and you're not going to get through that. It's just not going to happen because you don't want to get poked. Think if you just no, you want to eat it. And then so that'll provide a snack for me in the mornings, or you know, a lot of smoothies or something like that if I want to make those. Still not really big into that. It's mostly just meat and cheese and you know, a little bit of fruit. That's what I eat now. But if I wanted to, guess what? Go right at it. If my neighbors want to come pick blackberries, if I like you, go for it. But if you imagine, if I start going down this way and start creating those fence rows all the way down, over time, the same thing's going to happen. And hey, sheep, goats, little animals, hey, why not? Also, if you're a coyote, are you going to want to be going through that? Probably not. With barbed wire interwoven with it? Yeah, probably not. Good thing. Now here, we're at about the halfway point to the end, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do, if I'm going to keep these posts here, or if I'm going to end up moving them, because I'm going to have to build, I can build H braces off of them, but I need to do some measuring to see, okay, is that 300 feet? Is that 300 feet? So we'll go from there. It's about halfway point, but what I am going to do is I'm going to put gates here to where I can move animals across one way or the other, because say something happens and a calf gets over there, it's almost impossible to run them all the way down and try and bring them back. It just doesn't make any sense. So go here, and hey, if I only have to run them halfway across, makes my life a lot easier. Have gates that swing out both directions, so creates a right angle. They can go through. This one can swing this way to prevent them from going down the lane. I like that. Now this is the second problem area that I'm gonna have. That's where the pond is. Okay, there's the dam. The spillway goes right here. The spillway puddles up in this little area right here. I might have to, I might have to do a culvert through, or bring in a lot of dirt, because that's not, I mean, I'm not walking through that right now because I'm gonna I'll get all wet. I mean, that's probably a foot, you know, maybe a foot and a half deep. This is a little bit of a problem here, and I don't like this here because look, you can see this becomes bottomland because of the pond, and I'm thinking there's a chance that what I might do is I might go from the spillway, and I don't know if I should do this or not. You guys can give me your opinions, and build a trench that runs here to where the water from the pond will actually just go out to the culvert over there and off the property, because this is just too much. Now, do we get rains like this super often? No, but this usually is pretty muddy and it does have a lot of water in it. Now, the reason why I wouldn't build a trench doing that, because guess what, the trench is gonna, you know, go and start to erode and erode and erode. That could be I could create a bigger problem for myself. But what I think I'm gonna do is a lot of the compost that I have, probably have 20 tons of compost back at the barn that I need to spread out. I think I'm gonna put over here, because for every 1% of organic matter that you can add to the soil, it will hold per acre, it'll hold 22,000 gallons of water, which is a pretty good amount of water. And over here, I think that's what it needs. We'll try it and see how thick I can go with it, and it'll be able to absorb it to where we don't have puddles. We don't want puddles on the farm. We want all the water to get absorbed. So hopefully that'll work. Here, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Maybe build a bridge, wooden bridge over it. It'd be kind of cool. But what I also have to do is I have to figure out how to utilize this pond in this system, because I'm not gonna really have a need for it. I mean, you always need a pond, okay? You always need a pond. But how can I utilize this? Now, can I do some sort of siphon? Because it's not up that terribly high. See, I could do some sort of siphon to where I can try and run this down, but it goes down over there. I don't really know. I don't really know what I can use this for. It's a great resource. I'm not complaining about it at all. But I just need to figure out how to utilize this to the best of my ability. It's just in a weird spot on the farm to where, you know, like I'm not going to be able to take water from here and pump it over there. Like, okay, could I do a ram pump situation? That sounds difficult to me. Probably not as bad as I think it is, but you know, if I do a siphon then do a ram pump, would I be able to actually just use the pond water to water the whole place, or to be able to get water to all the animals? I don't know if that'll flow fast enough, and I don't really know too much about it. I just know that's a way to pump water uphill a little bit, but I don't know. Well, we'll see. I'm not 100% sure what to do with the pond yet. And then we'll go to the end, and I think this is all my issues that I foresee, or that I think that I might have. So, well, let's go over here and I'll show you. Now this is the end of the lane. What I've done in the past is, okay, see those T-posts there? That's what that was holding up that wire and holding up that wire, and that was my gate. Now, what I need to be able to do is coming down the lane, what am I going to bring down here? I'm going to bring the tractor, a truck, a side-by-side. That's probably it. Try to turn around in that lane is not going to happen. So the way that I'd have to turn around is drive all the way here, and you know, at least with the side-by-side, I was able to turn around here behind this tree. Now this tree's dead. It's been dead for a long time. It was dead before I even got here. What I think I might have to do is I might just have to cut down the tree completely, and that way, if you know, I keep it on an angle and opens it up a little bit more, I can go turn around with the tractor, can turn around with the truck. That should give me more than enough clearance. Now what I should do too is I should just bring the tractor down here when it's not like this and muddy, and try and turn around the tree like I did with the side-by-side. I might be able to do that. Might be kind of tight, but since the tree's dead already, that might be next year's firewood, and just come and cut it down. Just don't like doing big trees like that because it's a little sketchy for me. So this is going to be the big project for the year, and that's just on this side of the farm. I'm going to do something similar on the other side, and I'm actually going to be able to section out a decent little section to where like I can grow have a little vineyard and have some grapes, because the cows aren't going to be able to get to it anymore. Because that's one thing, I've been trying to grow grapes every year for the last, well, this is going to be year number 4, and somehow the cows always get into it. Somehow the llamas are able to reach it. If I do it correctly, they won't be able to touch it, and it'll be great. So trying to think of all the things that could go wrong, trying to think of anything else that I could add to this, and make this place as productive as possible, and as easy as possible too. Because I mean, not gonna happen right away, but when I have the lines going, you know, the horizontal ones, or no, vertical ones, and I have water at each station, literally all I have to do is open a gate, call the cows through, close the gate, go behind. If I have horses, llamas, sheep, goats, anything else that eats grass that I'm not thinking of, a zebra maybe, just joking, I can just open up that gate, let them through, have them eat behind the cows because they eat close to the ground, and I'm done. Literally, it would be it'd probably take me more time walking out to see them than it would for me actually to mess with the animals. And you know, just logistically makes my life a lot easier, because it used to take me about 45 minutes to do everything, to go from 45 to 2, and then if something went wrong, that, you know, with the electric, then I'm spending an hour trying to figure out where it's shorting out at or whatever. I know this works. It might be different from both sides, whether, you know, oh no, don't have any fences up and just run electric. Yeah, that's great. Ideally that'd be the way that I'd do it, but with the way that the soil here can turn into baby powder if it just gets baked over the summer, this is a better way for me to do it. And I'm excited about it, really excited about it. Permanent stuff, allow me to grow the orchard, and just really enjoy this place, really turn this place into a, you know, it just gives me something to do every day, you get something to like live for, get up, see the animals, just you have a new project, a new something every day. That's why I like the farm, and it's really enjoyable. Look, makes you question stuff too, like, okay, there's this line here, what made that? Some sort of mole family or vole or whatever. So much better than being in the city. I don't know, I can never go back. Thought about it for a second, because you know, things just get difficult and you get a little burnout, but no, never going back. My goal here is to eat, I think I can eat as close to 100% from the farm as I can, with the minuses like bananas, avocados, and like oranges. Really don't eat anything else that couldn't be grown here, which is, that'd be cool. 100% from the farm, and then opens up my and that would open up my time to where eventually, hey, if I want to get a dairy cow, why not? Why not? That's a lot more work, and I'm trying to reduce work. But hey, if I don't have to spend 45 minutes and pray something doesn't go wrong with all the animals that I already have, just opens up my time, which would be kind of cool.